Yo guys, ever built this kind of house? A flat box with a door slapped in the middle? Don't worry, we've all been there. But today I'm going to show you how to go from Noob Cube to Builder Pro in just few minutes. Let's go! First up, texture. Flat walls made of one block? Nah, that's illegal around here. Let's spice it up. One easy trick. Surround the base of your house with cobblestone. It adds contrast, makes your build pop, and says, hey, this builder knows what they're doing. Alright, now it's time to bring the structure to life. We're adding wooden pillars all around the house to give it some realistic support and depth. You don't need to be perfectly symmetrical, especially on the inside. I'm actually going to break that symmetry on purpose, just to make the pattern feel more natural and unique. Trust me, even this small change makes your build feel way more alive. Once the pillars are in, it's time to cut in some windows. We're not just building walls, we want to let people see what's inside. Place a few glass panes where it makes sense, maybe between pillars or just where it feels right. It adds variation to the exterior and gives your build more character, without overcomplicating anything. After placing your windows, raise each corner pillar by one block to give the structure more presence. Then, add cobblestone stairs at the base, right next to the pillars. It creates the illusion of a reinforced foundation, like the house is actually being supported. And visually, it adds a subtle but solid layer of realism to the build, Ractor, without overcomplicating anything. Let's add a bit of color variation to make the build pop. On the side walls, place some spruce stairs or any slightly darker wood. It helps break the repetition of the main block while still matching the overall palette. This small contrast gives your house more depth and makes it feel more detailed. Then, just above the pillars on the front and back, add a few cobblestone stairs on the inside. They give the impression of added support, like the frame is holding something up, and they continue the realistic vibe we've been building. Let's build a roof that actually looks great from every angle. Start by placing a stair block on one side, then alternate directions with each stair as you go up toward the middle one facing out, one facing in. Repeat the same from the opposite side. If your wall is even, the two stair lines will meet perfectly at the top. But if it's odd, you'll be left with a one block gap in the center, and don't worry, we'll fill that in right after. This alternating pattern gives your roof a nice curve and makes the build feel more polished. As you can see, in our build, the stairs don't meet the roof is an odd width, so there's a one block gap at the top. To fill it, just place a full block right in the center, then add a slab on top to smooth it out. Now let's bring the whole build together and really make that roof stand out. We're going to raise the central pillars on both the front and back facades, just enough so they connect directly with the roofline. This makes the structure feel more complete, like the roof is actually supported, not just floating there. Once that's in place, we're adding two small windows right into the front and back of the roof. They add light, break up the shape, and give the house a lot more personality. To push the detailing even further, we're going to tweak the texture of the oak walls. Use a slightly different type of oak wood like stripped logs or even planks rotated sideways to add subtle contrast. And finally, don't forget to fill in the gaps between the roof stairs to fully seal it off and finish the top clean. With that, the roof is officially complete. Alright, let's add a chimney. It's not just for the looks, it adds real personality to the build. A chimney makes the house feel lived in, like someone's inside keeping warm by the fire. And we're not just throwing it on randomly, we're building it properly. We're using dot full cobblestone for the whole chimney to keep it consistent with the style of the house. But to avoid that flat, boring look, we'll mix in a few stairs, just to give it texture. And super important, make the chimney taller than the roof. Because in real life, if smoke hits the roof, it just gets trapped, or, starts a fire. So going a few blocks higher not only makes sense, but also looks way more realistic. Simple move, but it instantly makes your build feel more complete. That's it, the house is finished. But we're not done yet. Most people forget the outside, and that's where the build can really shine. So now, we're moving on to the exterior, and first up, the path that leads to the front door. We're not just placing blocks, we're going to use a shovel to texture the ground. Right-clicking with a shovel turns grass into path blocks, and that alone gives a super clean, natural look. Mix that with a bit of coarse dirt, some gravel, maybe a few slabs or buttons, and boom, you've got a path that feels worn, realistic, and lived in. Make sure it's not perfectly straight. Give it some curves, some patches. It should look like it's been walked on 100 times. We're going to mark out the perimeter of the house, and for that, we're using cobblestone walls. Don't go full square mode. Instead, place them randomly around the build, just enough to give a sense of structure without boxing everything in. You don't want it to feel like a prison, more like a loose border. Like this house has been there a while and the terrain shaped around it. It adds depth, creates shadows, and makes the whole area feel more intentional. Once you've placed your cobblestone walls, it's time to make them look better. So here's the move. Grab some oak leaves and place them around the corners of the wall sections. Just a few here and there, especially at the ends and bends, to give it that natural, overgrown look. It softens the build, adds texture. The combo of stone and greenery? Always a win in Minecraft. You'll see just this tiny step makes your outside area go from basic to super cozy in seconds. Grab some bone meal and go wild. Seriously, just spam it all over the ground around your build. The more tall grass, flowers, and little plants you get, the more alive and natural everything feels. Don't try to make it perfect, let it be messy. Nature isn't clean cut, and that's exactly what makes it look good in Minecraft. That extra bit of greenery everywhere brings the whole yard to life, and ties the build into the environment perfectly. Trust me, bone meal is your best friend for making any outdoor area feel lush and full of life. Once you're done spamming bone meal and covering the build in oak leaves, there's one last thing to bring it all together. Plant an oak tree. And not just any try to grow a big one. Place it near the house, but not too close, just enough so the leaves hang a bit over the build. It creates shade, adds height, and makes the whole scene feel more natural and balanced. One big tree can change the entire vibe. It softens the area, fills the sky, and makes everything feel like it belongs. And now, final touch. It's time to bring in some warm light and a bit of life right at the windows. Grab a few lanterns and place them wherever it feels right. Next to the door, hanging under a roof corner, on top of a fence, follow your instincts. The goal is to give the house a cozy glow at night without overdoing it. Then, for the finishing detail, place some plants or flower pots right under the windows. Could be trapdoors with grass or actual potted flowers, just a small move that makes a huge difference. It adds charm, color, and makes your house feel like it's actually loved and lived in. And with that, your build is complete. From that flat Noob box with a random door to a full-on, cozy, detailed house all in under 10 minutes. We took something horrible, added just the right steps, and turned it into something you'd actually be proud of. If you enjoyed the glow up, drop a like, and make sure to subscribe for more builds like this every week. See you in the next one.